post. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 predictions from the internet and the logic behind them and ultimately why they ended up being false. So the first one is the cinema is a little more than a fad. It's called canned drama. What audiences really want to see is flesh and blood on stage. This was by Charlie Chaplin. So I believe the logic behind this was at the time cinemas were a novelty and they were just coming out, but the ultimate trend had been towards seeing live plays and things like that, making him believe that movies wouldn't really be popular. But nowadays we even see that there's a bigger trend moving towards people watching movies and television on their own personal devices like laptops or tablets. So I think with this, it just shows that, our generations change and that you kind of have to be open to the new technological advances that will kind of move our society forward. The next is Americans have need of the telephone, but we do not. We have plenty of messenger boys. This is by Sir William Preece, who is the chief engineer of the British Post Office. So again, his prediction was ultimately false because by the 1900s, 600,000 people had phones, and by the 1910, 5.8 million people had phones. So I believe his logic for this initial quote was again that the telephone was such a novel idea, and they had a really in-place system with the messenger boys, so it seemed like it wouldn't be easily replaced. But as we all know, technology moves very quickly and it can really overall improve our society. The next is by John Maynard Keynes, and he said 3-hour shifts or a 15-hour work week. So he studied labor economics, and I believe his logic through this was when he was just looking at historical data. In the past, the amount of hours that people have worked have decreased over time. Before, people used to work 65-hour work weeks, and now the average is around 35 to 40 hours. However, he thought by this time we'd only have a 15-hour work week, but I think it's probably clear that most people are still working the regular 40-hour work week. My fourth quote is, I must confess that my imagination refuses to see any sort of submarine doing anything but suffocating its crew and floundering at sea. So again, with not being able to wrap their head around technological advancements, obviously submarines are very useful and they are used for difficult expeditions and military operations. And the last quote is by Bill Gates, and it says 2 years from now, spam will be solved, and he said this in 2004. So first, obviously, this prediction is wrong because I probably get 50 spam emails every week in my inbox. There has been a way to mitigate this by creating the spam folder, but I think getting rid of this problem is probably not in the foreseeable future. One, because I think it would be difficult, but I think mostly because it's not actually that large of a problem, and so there's more pressing issues to take care of. Anyways, those are the 5 quotes that I found online. Thanks for listening.